Hello there, good evening. My name is Vishvadeep and I welcome you all on Unacademy Computer Science channel for unlimited learning. Today, in this specific session, we are going to talk about file allocation method, means how the files are stored in the disk. Now you will wonder, sir, you told last class also that the disk is there. In the disk we have the blocks, over the blocks the data or the files are stored. Yes, but if more than one particular block is required to store a file, then what kind of block allocation will be done by the file system, that we are going to discuss today, and there are different advantage and disadvantage we are going to talk about. So let's start this session and let's try to learn what this file allocation method is. Along with that, small few more topics we have which we will discuss in this specific session. Before we start, let me introduce myself. My name is Vishvadeep and I'm working as a channel leader on this channel. You can see my profile over here. So if you guys are of course learning through this channel, apart from this channel you can learn from Unacademy's platform also absolutely free. So access the classes over there. How you can do, just go to unacademy.com or download Unacademy Learner app and follow my profile in the GATE CSE category so that you can access my special classes. Special just because these are absolutely free. Apart from the special classes, there are so much content on Unacademy's platform available for you which is free. What is that? Quiz, practice questions, some test series, etc. All Unacademy's free content you can unlock using this code VDEEP10. If you are really serious about your preparation for your GATE, you need to have a lot of hard work and efforts to put in your preparation, just because the GATE preparation is not so easy. The questions will come from those topics only which you have already studied or which you will already study in the classroom, but the biggest challenge is to remember each and every concept, to remember each and every hidden concept, to use each and every concept to solve a question becomes tough. And to make that particular thing easy, you need a very systematic and very structured learning plan in which you can actually learn how to remember the things for a longer time, how to utilize that small learning, small pieces of learning to solve the problems. And that particular thing comes when you have a very systematic and structured learning plan that we can provide you on Unacademy Plus. Unacademy Plus will give you live classes, interactive one, daily practice problems, weekly quizzes, a combination of such kind of structure of the courses which will make your learning in such a way that you can learn how to solve the questions. Doubt solving session you will be getting, plus doubt crash courses you will be getting, Hindi, English, different courses you will be getting, rank improvement batch you will be getting, plus you will be getting guidance of educator who will tell you that what to follow at when, so that you can always be on the correct path and you will not miss any kind of opportunity to grab more marks, plus you will not do those kind of mistakes which you will do without any guidance, so that you can save a lot of your time and hence you can be more efficient. This Plus subscription you can purchase for 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, 24 months, and all these subscriptions are available using this code with 10% discount. But this is not just a discount code. This particular code will give you my personal guidance plus my team's support if you take this particular code's subscription for if you use this code for your subscription. There is another type of subscription for those members who need more personalized and more customized preparation, more care during the preparation from an expert. That subscription is Iconic subscription. This subscription has all the benefit of Unacademy Plus, extra benefit of a personal coach, a coach provided to you for your one-on-one guidance. So the coach will providing you the preparation strategy, customized study plan. The coach will track your performance and will give you tips to improve it. Coach will provide you personalized doubt solving and test analysis, extra booster session and practice sets and notes. This iconic subscription available for 12, 18 and 24 months package. Using this code you can take 10% discount, plus you can get my personal guidance. New batch started yesterday, 4th of August. So if you want to follow a systematic approach to follow a particular batch, you can follow this particular batch and you can enjoy the learning from, look at this, top educators of country. And one more thing, it's not necessary that you will have to follow this batch only. You can follow so many other previously started batches, previously completed courses also from all these educators, and the previously recorded courses from other educators on Unacademy platform. That's why I always tell you, we have your option of learning unlimited. Only thing which you will have to remember is, using this code you can unlock lots of other possibilities including 10% discount. चलिए start करेंगे सेशन को. This is the second last session of your course. So what we will need, what I will need is, you should give me a good energy, a good response, so that we can have the best quality learning in last two sessions. Also tomorrow we are going to finish your entire course of operating system. Chaliye, should we start? If we should start, then you should tell me, are you ready for learning or not? Tell me you are ready for the learning. Type down in the comment box and we will start the session. Bolo jaldi bolo bhaiya bolo. Okay, so if you are ready, let's begin the session. So we were talking about files and their storage. As I have already told you that the disk in logical formatting, we will have to divide into multiple blocks, so that over those blocks we can store the data, we can store the files. Now the file allocation method we are going to learn, that when there is a particular, I should say, file system, that file system selects which block to store a file if file is larger than a block. Suppose a block is 1 kilobyte but file size is 4 kilobyte. 4 blocks are needed to store the file. Yes, to store 4 blocks, what 4 blocks to be needed? Which 4 blocks are used to store this particular file? Operating system should have a particular accountability of that. OS को ये पता होना चाहिए कि कहां कौन सा ब्लॉक यूज हुआ है टू स्टोर दिस पर्टिकुलर फाइल. और वही बात होगी, क्या होगा, फाइल एलोकेशन मेथड में. सो द फाइल एलोकेशन मेथड विल एक्चुअली बी यूज्ड टू नो or to indicate that which block to be used to store what file. Okay, now see, before we start, let me just ask you a very simple question. Suppose a disk block can be given an address using 14 bits. Okay, and each block size is 1 kilobyte. Then what can be the maximum size of a file? Maximum size of a file can be entire disk. My entire disk can be used to store the file. Yes or no? Yes. So what can be the size of disk here? What can be the size of disk? If 14 bits are required to addressing or to address the block, how many number of block we can have total? Maximum 2 power 14. Each block size is 1 kilobyte. Hence maximum size of file is equal to size of disk, and that is equal to 2 power 14 number of blocks. Each block size is 1 kilobyte, becomes 2 power 24, which is nothing but 16 megabyte. Are you agree with this point? क्या आप लोग इस पॉइंट से एग्री हैं? Yep. Okay, easy, very easy. Fine. Now let's talk about what kind of blocks and how those blocks are chosen to store a particular file. So the very first thing we are going to know is there are three types of file allocation method. The first one is contiguous allocation, second is linked allocation, third one is indexed allocation. Okay, so what is contiguous allocation? Before that, we will have to assume certain circumstances. So look at this. I have considered that there is a disk. In that particular disk, I do have 16 number of blocks. I have given them numbering 1 to 16 for my regular understanding. Okay, now in this disk, when we have 16 number of blocks, if operating system will have to save a file, that particular file should be stored on contiguous blocks. So let's say there is a file, that particular file needs 3 blocks. How many blocks? 3 blocks. And operating system decided that okay, I do have 3 blocks consecutively starting from 3, or let's say starting from 4. Then operating system will have to maintain a table. That table we will call as file allocation table. क्या बोलेंगे इसे? फाइल allocation table. That table will let the file system know that exactly which file stored starting from which block and how many number of consecutive blocks are needed to store that file. तो ये जो हमारा file allocation table है, in that file allocation table what kind of entries will be there? So first of all we will be having black color use करते हैं, file name, then we will be having second start block number and the third number of blocks for file. Let's say I do have a file abc.doc. Document type file name is abc. I do have its starting block is 4 and total number of blocks needed to store is 3. Can you tell me what are the blocks which will be used to store that particular file? Block number 4, block number 5 and block number 6. These 3 consecutive contiguous blocks will be needed to store this file. बड़ा सिंपल सा फंडा है, समझ में आया कि नहीं? Say yes, no, anything if you understood this. Let's go for another example. Let's say we have another file. File name is, let's say, xyz.pdf. That file is stored starting from block number 9 and needs 5 blocks. Consecutive blocks are needed, so 9, 10, 11, 12 and 13. These 5 blocks are needed contiguously to store that file. That is the contiguous allocation. समझ में आ रहा है कि नहीं आ रहा तुमको? Are you able to follow me? Yes or no? Can you tell me so that I can go ahead and explain you further things? Okay, so if you got this, let's go ahead and let's try to understand few more things. Okay, now in this contiguous allocation, how you can access a file? If I am saying I want to access the file second block, can you access the file ka second block directly? Yes. First block is at 4, then second block directly you can access 5th. If I am saying that xyz.pdf ka third block I want, if first block is at 9, second should be at 10th, third will be at 11th, directly I can go with a simple calculation that third block will be the 11th block. I'll go to the 11th block, I can access the content directly. Can I access randomly directly any block? Yes, I can calculate that which particular block you need. Third one, okay, third one will be starting from 9, third one will be 11th. You want fifth one, okay, starting from 9, fifth one will be 13. I can access it directly, yes. And of course, I can access it sequentially also. How? If I want to access entire file sequentially, first ninth block, then 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, easily I can access. Yes. So we will be having both type of access possible in this contiguous allocation. Yes. But there is a problem. Problem is, let's say this document file you have opened. Okay. And after that you are changing the file size. Just because you are typing something more in this. You are typing, you have increased the size. Now this file needs 3 more blocks to be stored. 3 more blocks. Do we have 3 more blocks consecutively after 6? 4, 5, 6, fine. 3 more blocks you need. Do we have 3 more blocks? Yes or no? No, we don't have 3 more blocks. So the problem in contiguous allocation is, if file size increases, then this contiguous allocation will not be good, will not be so flexible. Ki, okay, 3 more blocks can be available for us contiguously. That can be a problem. Yes, problem? Hanji, problem. So some points I am having here. First of all, fragmentation. In this contiguous allocation, you can have internal fragmentation and external fragmentation both. If file size increases, then this method is inflexible. Plus type of access can be sequential and random both. Directly you can access a specific block, yes, and sequentially also you can access the file block, yes. Internal, external, both will be the problem here. Okay, now the next thing is this linked allocation. To solve this problem, which problem? Contiguous allocation gives you the problem of this inflexibility and external fragmentation. These two problems can be solved in the linked allocation. What is the linked allocation? If we want to increase the file size, we can allocate any block. Yes, any block in the linked allocation. So it will be like a linked list of the block of the files. So what kind of linked list we will be having? First of all, of course, we will be having file allocation table here. But that file allocation table will be having different type of information this time. Let's say I do have a file. File name is abc.doc. That particular file is starting from block number 4. But in the block number 4, what we will keep? For almost complete block, we will keep the file ka content. In the last few bytes, we will contain a link. Link means the block number of next block which is containing the second block. Necessarily, we are not storing the second block of file, second part of file on the 5th block. We can store it anywhere, and that anywhere block number I can keep here. So let's say I am keeping the next block in block number 12. And block number 12 also will keep another link to next file. Let's say next particular block is 7, means part 1 is stored on block number 4, part 2 is stored on block number 12, and part 3 of the file is stored on 7th block. 3 blocks were needed. Yes, 3 blocks were needed. 3 blocks are now random allocation I have done. Plus I am keeping a link from first to second, second to third, so that what happens, I can access entire file. So what I will keep here in this particular information, first of all, file name I will keep. Second, I will keep the start block number, and I will keep the last block number, which is the block number where the last block of the file is stored, 7th. So 4 to 7, there will be a linked list, kind of linked allocation. File is stored on multiple blocks. Now the second file, let's say I am having a second file. Second file is having the name xyz.pdf, and it requires 5 blocks. Let's say it is starting from 2. It is starting from 2. Next block is on 10th. 10 के बाद next block is on 15th. 15 के बाद next block is on 14th, and 14 के बाद next block is stored on 5th. 5 blocks done. Yes, 2, 10, 15, 14 and 5. 5 blocks done, and last block number is 5. Hence, you can access the file easily. Now this particular linked allocation is better in flexibility. Let's say I want to increase the file size of this abc.doc. I do have so many blocks free, 1 3 9 13 16, any block I can give to that particular file, and from 7 I can have that block ka link easily. Hence I can have increment in the file size and my linked allocation will be flexible enough. Here we will not have any external fragmentation, also only internal fragmentation will be there. Why? Just because we are not storing the files in the consecutive locations. So fragmentation only internal, yes. Increase in the file flexible, yes. But the biggest problem here is we can have only sequential access. Why? If through this particular table I give the information and I ask xyz.pdf is starting from block number 2, give me the fourth block of this file, you don't know, you cannot directly get the fourth block of this file. Why? Just because block number 2 says start, okay, from starting from block number 2, if you will have to access fourth block, you cannot jump to fourth block. Which number is fourth block of the file? You don't know. You will have to go sequentially from 2 to 10, 10 to 15, 15 to 14, 14th number is fourth block of your file. You cannot access it directly, sequentially, block by block only you will have to access. So the access of the file cannot be random, but it will not be a good option for you. Why? Okay, let me give you a practical example. Okay, let's say in a media player you have opened a particular movie, है ना? You are watching a movie. In the movie you have that timeline bar, right, which shows that how much movie you have watched and how much is remaining. You can scroll it forward backward, right, so that you can reach to that particular what should I say, time where you want to watch the movie. Let's say you started a movie, watched for 1 hour, and after that you had to go for some class, some etc etc. Now you thought, okay, after the class I will watch. You came for the class, completed. Now you are again rewatching the movie. Double click on the movie, opened in the media player. I am talking about a computer system. Media player means window media player or maybe VLC player, something something. Now if I say you will have to rewatch first complete hour, then only you can rewatch or you can watch remaining 2 hours of or 1 hour of movie. Why? Just because you cannot randomly keep or access your movie from middle. Will you like that situation? क्या आपको ये situation पसंद आएगी? Nah. No. You will certainly not like this situation. So what now? Why you did not like or will not like this situation? Just because you don't want to rewatch that 1 hour. Why? Just because you should need to access that particular file directly from the middle. You can't. Why? You will have to access it in the sequence. Of course, it's a big problem. So what you will do, you will go ahead and will say this is not a good method of file access. Understanding now? समझ पा रहे हो ये क्या हो रहा है? चलिए तो आगे बढ़ते हैं और बात करते हैं एक ऐसे सीक्वेंस के बारे में. We will talk about such kind of allocation which is indexed allocation, third one, which will have benefits of this also, flexibility in increasing the size plus random and direct access also, and which is the indexing, like your book indexing. Book indexing means how do you index the book? If I say can you read a book sequentially from first to last page? Yes. Can you reach to the particular chapter number 6 directly? Yes. Look at the index in the starting. You have the indexes in the starting, which chapter is starting from which particular page? Yes. And after that you can directly reach to that particular chapter? Yes. So this is what happens. So whenever we will be having a file allocation table, in file allocation table, that file allocation table will hold only 2 columns. One is file name Second one is the index block. Which block you are using as index block? What does it mean? File name, let's say you have xyz.pdf and its index block is number, let's say 16. So first of all, to access the file, we will have to have one block dedicated only for indexing, like a book. In book, when you have, let's say 200 pages, all 200 pages are used for your content? No. First few 5, 6, 10 pages are used for indexing. So in the block, in the disk, when you have 16 blocks, among those 16 blocks, all the blocks I will not use to store the file. I will use 1 or 2 blocks to store the what? The index of the file. So in the block number 16, what I will keep, let's say this xyz.pdf requires 4 blocks or 5 blocks. What are the 5 blocks? Their numbering I will keep one by one in this. Let's say first part of the file is stored on block number 7, second part is stored on block number 11, third part is stored on block number 5, next one is stored on block number 3, and next one is stored on block number 13. Like this, I will keep the indexing. So block number 7, first part of the file, block number 11, second part of the file, block number 5, third block of the file, block number 3, fourth part of the file, and block number 13, fifth part of the file. 5 parts, 5 different blocks. And what are the blocks? I have written those block numbering in the index block. So this is the index block which I have. अंडरस्टैंडिंग दिस मच? क्या समझ पा रहे हो आप लोग? आर यू एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस मच? क्या आप लोगों को इतना समझ आया है? Okay, all of you will complete the syllabus along with me tomorrow. Yes, one good news I have for all of you. You need practice questions, right? OS के practice question. This Wednesday, next Wednesday, whatever the date is, next Wednesday, 2-hour session on Unacademy special classes. Absolutely free, only for practice questions. And not simple one-liner or two-liner like true-false statements. I will be giving you good quality questions. 2 hours, actually 2.5 hours, non-stop, only practice questions. Entire operating system. Somebody is asking, for each file we have to assign extra block. Yes, Sirohi Nirmal, for sure we will have to do that. So if a file needs 5 blocks, to store that file, I will need 6 blocks. 1 for indexing, 5 for storing the file. Yes, I will need it. This is the index block for the file and 5 different blocks for storage the file. Understood that? Now, I would like to have some more information about this index allocation. First of all, only internal fragmentation. Yes, that will always be there. Just because block is too big. Then increasing the file size will be flexible here. Plus type of access can be both random and sequential. How? If you want to go sequentially, you can access the index directly from index block. You can access all the blocks sequentially. First 7th, then 11th, then 5th, then 3rd and 13. All block numbering I do have beforehand. Yes, so sequentially I can access. Yes, directly also I can access. Let's say I want the 5th block of the file. I will directly go to the 5th entry. 13th block is having the 5th part of the file. I can access it directly. So random access also plus direct access also. Okay, plus sequential access also. But here we do have one particular specific thing. What is the specific thing? Let's say if the file is so big, if the file is so big to, so that if the file is so big, the number of blocks also required will be so many. Yes, if number of blocks required so many, there are so many entries will be required in this index. है ना? Simple question I am asking. In a book, let's say the book is so big and number of index entries are too big to be done in the single page. Do you require multiple pages to do the indexing for the books? Yes. क्या आप एक से ज्यादा पेजेस यूज करते हो इंडेक्सिंग के लिए बुक्स में, बड़ी बड़ी बुक्स में? जी हाँ, पॉसिबल है. यस. हियर ऑल्सो पॉसिबल? नो. Here also possible? No. Yes, possible. If suppose the block size is limited, of course, the file is too big that so many number of entries are required in the index block. But because of the limited block size, I can keep some limited number of entries of such indexing. If one block cannot store all the indexes, I have to have multiple blocks. Yes. Same thing we have learned in multi-level paging कि if multiple blocks are needed for indexing here, then I will need multi-level indexing. हमें क्या करना पड़ेगा? multi-level indexing करनी पड़ेगी. Okay, let's try to understand this with a simple example. Okay, so here it is. Let's say disk block address is 16 bits. So total number of blocks you have is 2 power 16. Okay, disk block size is 1 kilobyte and index block is also of 1 kilobyte. First of all, we need to understand कि if one disk block can contain 1 kilobyte indexing, how many number of indexing we can keep in a single block? Number of index entries in a single block. 1 kilobyte is total data divided by one address. One block address is of 2 bytes. 2 power 10 divided by 2 power 1, 512 entries. In a single block, you can keep 512 entries. Yes? Yes or no? Yes or no? So, total 2 power 9 blocks की entry you can keep. Fine. If within the single block only you will have to keep all the file ka block, you can keep total 2 power 9 such entries. Each entry will be of one block. One block will be of 1 kilobyte data. One block of 1 kilobyte of data. Yes. So what is the maximum file size here? Maximum file size will be equal to, I can store only 2 power 9 blocks for the data into each particular block is of 1 kilobyte. Answer is 512 kilobyte का file size you can have maximum when you have single index block of 1 kilobyte. फाइन. चलिए, आप लोग के जितने भी डाउट्स हैं, मैं कल एक डाउट सेशन लेने वाला हूँ इसी चैनल पे. लाइव आऊँगा 2:30 अराउंड. ठीक है, तो आप लोग आराम से आइए. आप लोग के जो भी प्रिपरेशन से रिलेटेड, एमटेक से रिलेटेड, पीएसयू से रिलेटेड, वॉट एवर द डाउट्स यू गाइज आर हैविंग, प्लीज कम लाइव एट 2:30 PM tomorrow and then join me so that we can have the off topic apart from this discussion over there. Live I will be there, I will be listening your questions and I will be giving you the answers. Okay, चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं. Understood this much? Fine. But this was only when you were having single level, what? Single level indexing. But if multi-level indexing will be there, you need to have more number of blocks to store more files, etc, etc, etc. Okay, चलिए एक क्वेश्चन मैं बना देता हूँ यहाँ पे. Let's say you have 2-level indexing. Fine. One block number you have is of 32 bits and you have block size is equal to, okay, let me take it as 64 bits. One block number is of 64 bits. One block size is 2 kilobyte. What is the maximum file size? So first of all, we will have to know that how many entries we can keep in a single block. One block number is 64 bit, means how many bytes? 8 bytes. Okay, so how many number of entries in a single block you can keep? Number of index entries. In a single block. How many number of entries in a single block? Number of entries in a single block will be equal to block size is 2 kilobyte divided by 8 byte. 2 power 11 divided by 2 power 3, it is 2 power 8, which is 256 entries. Okay, fine. चलिए अब आगे बढ़ते हैं. 2 power 8 entries you can keep. Now look at this. You will have first level index block. That index block having how many entries? 2 power 8 entries. How many entries? 2 power 8 entries. Now each entry will lead you to have another block which is another index block. It is not having the file, but it is having the another index block. And that index block can keep how many such entries? 2 power 8 entries more. And each entry will be of a block. That block is storing the file of 2 kilobyte. 2 kilobyte files. 2 kilobyte of file. Similarly, here also another entry will be there. That entry will lead me to have another file block which will store 2 kilobyte. Such kind of how many entries? 2 power 8. And similarly, this second entry will lead me to have another index block, and each index block will be having 2 power 8 entries. So how many such index block we will be having? Such index blocks 2 power 8, and each index block is containing 2 power 8 entries. So total number of indexing will be 2 power 8 blocks, each block containing 2 power 8 entries, and each entry is of a particular block of 2 kilobyte. Batao, what will be the size of file? 2 power 8 into 2 power 8 into 2 power 11, 16 and 11, 37. Which is 128 gigabytes. Oh, not 37, really sorry, 27. So it will be 128 megabytes. That can be the maximum file size we can have. Tell me now, is that fine? समझ में आया? So if you are having 2 level indexing, in single index block you can keep 2 power 8 entries. Hence 2 level indexing will have total 2 power 8 into 2 power 8 number of entries for the block numbering. Each block can store 2 kilobyte of file. So answer will be maximum file size this much. Somebody is asking really good question. It's a memory wastage hoga. Of course memory wastage hoga, but the thing is in the memory means in the hard disk we have enough space actually, but the hard disk is so slow to respond. So we will always try कि if we give extra space also for the memory storage, it's fine. For the file storage, if we give extra space, it's fine. But if we can access the file quickly, then it will be a better thing for me, just because a user needs a quick response from your computer. And when computer gets delayed just because of the hard disk and file access, of course user will not like it. Okay, you can give little bit extra space to the file, but give me the access quicker that I need, I'm giving it. All those members who are asking the question about anything, that from where to what I'll have to follow, please come tomorrow in the special class, in a special session on YouTube only, on this channel only, 2:30 p.m. and I will be coming live to answer your questions only. Now there is a term master boot record. What master boot record is? Whenever, if you remember, a disk starts or a computer actually starts, you know that ROM memory is accessed first so that the booting can happen. But for booting, a record is needed. Why? Just because ROM doesn't know that where in the disk actually the operating system is stored. So what happens in your operating system, in your disk actually, on the very first sectors, there is a record stored which is called as MBR. That MBR stores that particular information, that which partition of your disk where in actually sector and track the actual operating system is stored. So a master boot record, MBR, is a special type of boot sector, the very first sector at very beginning of the partitioned computer mass storage device. Mass storage device means your hard disk. And it contains the information regarding how and where the operating system is located in the hard disk so that it can be booted in the RAM memory. Somebody is asking, sir, please do not make the videos private. Yes, we will not. We will not make any video private. If you are learning, only two things we need from your end: like and share the series with all of your friends. Second, if you follow any series, drop your comment on the very first video of the series so that the people who are going to start that series will know that what kind of series this particular one is. Your review for sure will help lots of other members to think that what kind of series it is. Okay, चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. यूनिक्स का inode होता है. That structure is also we need to study. Not much. What is inode? Inode is nothing but an index node, a data structure which Unix style file system stores. How and why? Why they store? Just to have such kind of indexing. In the indexed allocation, what I told, we will be having a block. That block will be storing the index of all the what? All the blocks which are used for the storage. Similarly, Unix based or Unix style का जो file system है, all those will be using a data structure which is called as index node or inode. That data structure will store the file system storage or file system information, that which block is stored, where it is stored, etc., etc., indexing and some other information about file and directories. Directory means folder. Now, there are few information which you need to understand here. Each node stores the attributes and disk block location. Disk block location means indexing of the object ka data. Object means file ka data. So what are the attributes? Attributes means some kind of what is the number of the file or name of the file, etc., etc. Some information is there. We don't have to remember all these. The number of inode limits the total number of files or directory. So a Unix style file system can have fixed number of inodes. Let's say we can have total 16 inodes only. So one inode can store the information about one file. Hence total maximum 16 file only you can have. So it can be possible that number of inodes will limit the total number of files or directories that can be stored in a particular file system. It is possible. अब इस inode में होता क्या है? First of all, administrative information. permission that who can open the file, etc., etc., timestamps that when a particular file got created, last updated, etc., etc. Number of direct blocks. Direct block means direct block numbering, that which block is used to store this file. Typically there are 12 blocks, direct blocks, that these are the 12 blocks to store the particular file. Now if the file size is more than 12, then we will need a single level indirect pointer. Indirect pointer means that points to a disk block. So that pointer means a block number. That block number will carry me, will particular block number bring me to a block. That block stores the indexes. That block stores the indexes like a single level indexing. Then a double indirect pointer means if with single indirect pointer or single level directory, if we cannot store entire file, then we will have to go for double indirect pointer also, and one indirect triple indirect pointer is also there if suppose up to 2 level also you are not able to store the entire file. Right, so depends on the file. If file can store on only 12 blocks, then only direct pointers or direct block numbering will help. If not, then a single indirect pointer will be needed. If that is also not enough, then double pointer also needed. If that is also not enough, then triple pointer. इससे ज़्यादा बड़ा file नहीं होगा. You will not have more than that file, of course. It's too big, too big. Understood? Okay, now listen, there is a question which we are going to solve and you will understand how to solve. Very easy. This kind of question actually 2 times they have asked. In 2004 also kind of similar kind of question they have asked. In index node inode of a Unix like file system has 12 direct, 1 single indirect and 1 double indirect pointer. Okay, good. The disk block size is 4 kilobyte and disk block address is 32 bit. Disk block address 32 bit and block size 4 kilobyte. Can you tell me how many number of entries we can have? Number of disk indexes in a single block. In a single block. How many entries you can keep? Single block size 4 kilobyte. Each block numbering you will have to keep of 32 bits. 32 bits means 4 bytes. 1k, 2 power 10. 2 power 10 number of entries you can keep. Okay, now what exactly the file is stored on? 12 direct, 1 single indirect and 1 double indirect pointer. Okay, so maximum file size will utilize all the blocks. So maximum file size will be equal to first of all 12 direct pointers. So 12 direct pointer, each pointer will lead me to have one block of 4 kilobyte plus 1 single indirect. Single indirect means 2 power 10 pointers. Each pointer will lead me to have a block of 4 kilobyte plus 1 double indirect. Double indirect means 2 power 10 index blocks. Each index block containing 2 power 10 indexes and each index will be of a block of 4 kilobyte. When you calculate this, answer is asking 4 GB rounded off to 1 decimal place, you will get almost 4.0 GB. ये बहुत छोटा है GB. This is the largest one. 2 power 10 into 2 power 10 into 2 power 10, 4. Remaining things will be very, very small in terms of GB. So answer will be 4.0 GB. Kitna easy. So easy it is. So easy, but you need to know the concept and you need to remember how to utilize the concept so that you can solve the question. Right now, fine. After 2 months, gone. Somebody was asking, sir, you teach same to same on Unacademy Plus also, and you teach same to same on YouTube also. What's the difference? Difference is when you attend my Plus class live, you will understand what kind of structure you have. Now you understood, fine. But what if I will give you 6 to 10 questions based on whatever you have learned today, and then at the weekend I will conduct a test, and that particular test will have questions of GATE quality. Of course your learning will be in a better way, that oh, how to solve the question using this knowledge what we have gained today. It's very different kind of experience which nobody can learn until you go through that particular actual learning model. You don't understand just because you are not so expert in such kind of thing. So you feel like, okay, I am understanding everything, means in the GATE I will be able to perform well, but everybody cannot do that. For that you will have to learn the art of problem solving, which consists 80% of your learning. 20% learning is just understanding the concept. 80% of actual learning is how to utilize your learning and the concept to solve the problem. In the GATE you will have to solve the problem, and when you learn that particular method, you will be on the top of the world. When you do not, you can't understand by yourself every single day. Okay, so tomorrow we are going to have discussion, last day of disk scheduling and seek time calculation, how to calculate the seek time based on this disk scheduling. That will be our last topic of discussion. There are so many small topics which are there in operating system books and in your engineering syllabus. We do not have those in our GATE syllabus. That's why I am not teaching here, just because this is purely, we are talking about GATE preparation. Fine. Okay, so tomorrow will be the last class. Don't miss that particular class. Anybody, whoever wants to have the PDF of this class, join this Telegram channel so that you can get the PDF of all these classes which we are conducting here. Plus you can get the announcement and any news. Tomorrow 9 p.m. I am going to announce a very big thing for all of you, and that will be very big. That's why a big surprise is coming tomorrow. That is gonna be revealed 9 p.m. tomorrow. 9 p.m. Okay, so don't miss that particular session. I am going to announce lots of new things, new initiative for all of you. Tomorrow 9 p.m. Tomorrow Friday 9 p.m. Remember, on this channel only, live. Anyone who is willing to have more structured, more organized, disciplined learning, join us on Unacademy Plus using the code VDEEP10, so that on the regular basis I can help you regarding your preparation. You can get my personal guidance. A new batch also started on 4th of August. You can join the courses over there. Plus look at this is the team of top educators, plus there are so many other courses of other educators. You can access all the courses from there. Then we have another option for you, Unacademy Combat. Unacademy Combat is that scholarship test which we are going to conduct on Sunday 8th of August 11 a.m. This particular scholarship test you can unlock freely on Unacademy's platform using code VDEEP10. This scholarship test will have 20 questions. You will have to solve those in 60 minutes in a gamified contest. After every question you will see the leaderboard. Leaderboard position will show that on which position you are right now. So you will be thrilled and you will be having super fast and super fun leaderboard to have added extra fun in your particular combat. This combat, at the end, if your rank in this combat is 1 to 3, you will get 1 year subscription absolutely free for Unacademy Plus. If your rank is 4 to 10, you will get 75% discount. If your rank is 11 to 50, 50% discount, and 51 to 100, then 25% discount you are going to get for Unacademy Plus subscription. That subscription you can take only for 6 months, 12 months, 18 months and 24 months only for GATE CSE. There is a bug bounty. If you find any inappropriate content on Unacademy platform, or you find any bug on Unacademy platform, then report it to the team. Link is there in the description. Click on that link and go to the particular form, fill it up, and you can claim the prices. The channel Unacademy Computer Science provide you lot of content for your learning. So please support us by liking and sharing the sessions, subscribing the channel, turning on the notification, and thank you so much for joining and listening all these lectures. See you in the next session tomorrow. We are having lots of sessions tomorrow. So stay ready